Hey guys, imagine with me that you're sitting on a dock and it's beautiful weather. Sun is shining and birds are singing. Maybe you're reading a book. Maybe you're fishing or feeding the fish or whatever. But the sun is shining and it's beautiful and the wind and the is blowing and the birds are singing. As you're sitting there, a man comes running. He runs past you and jumps off the dock. And as he jumps off the dock, he turns and looks at you and says, "I love you," and then he drowns. This would have an impact on you. It would be something you remember and something you talk about, but it's probably not a life changing event. However, imagine if you're on the same dock and you're sitting there and the sun is shining and the birds are singing and it's beautiful out and everything is awesome, and someone calls your name and you turn and you stand up. You slip on the dock, hit your head, and fall into the water and begin to drown. And your best friend sees this and he comes running, he jumps in, and he saves you. But as he's saving you, he begins to realize that he can't make it out of the water himself. So with his last breath, he says to you, "I love you," and he pushes you up on the dock and drowns. This is a life-changing moment for you. This is a moment that you are never going to forget because it wasn't just something you saw. It wasn't just that you saw a person die. It was that this person died for you in your place. Now think about John being at the cross and seeing Jesus, the Son of God, die. And not only die, but die in his place. And I think John had probably a better idea of Christianity because he saw Jesus die not as a spectacle, but as a substitution for him. He saw the Son of God, his best friend, take his cross for him. See, John knew that there was a lot more to the Easter story than we typically think about. For instance, the Last Supper, it's usually skipped over. We usually just kind of pass over it and don't really think about it. But at the Passover suppers, the Jewish people used to drink 4 cups of wine, and each one of those cups had a promise that God had given them that He would save them and free them from some type of slavery. That cup, when they drank it, it reminded them that promise. Jesus, when He was having the Last Supper, took the cup and he blessed it and said, "This is my blood, which is shed for you." But this is a different cup that he's drinking from. Now, I know that this right here, people start to get nervous, and cultures made this thing like, "Oh, you're going to talk about the Holy Grail." I'm not talking about the Holy Grail. What I'm talking about is a cup that Jesus referenced in Matthew 20:22 when he's talking to James and John, and he said, "You can't drink of the cup that only I can drink of." And then again in the Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus said to God, "If it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thine." This is a cup that's referenced in Revelation chapter 14, verses 9 through 10. It's the cup of God's wrath. And that cup comes with a promise, too. And that promise is that God is going to pour his wrath out on the ungodly. But the good news is that Jesus at the Last Supper took that cup. And when he died for us, he took the cup of wrath that was supposed to be poured out on us, and he took our place. He substituted himself for us. So this year, don't let Easter just be another year where you just kind of play some games, do some Easter egg hunts, and eat a good meal. And I'm for all of those. I love all of those things. But don't forget that Jesus didn't just die so that we could talk about it once a year and kind of, okay, this is great. He died as a substitute for us. God bless.